Good morning. As you can tell, I'm at a different site. Yesterday, I went to deploy my solar, and because I do need it, because I'm not going to drive around to use the DC to DC. There are, a few more sites that have already been taken, and I know as it gets closer and closer to the weekend, it might fill up a little bit. So I found a decent place for solar. Unfortunately, as you can see, this is just some bad characters. I just, once again, I'm always in, shock when I see, filth. There's stuff over there in the fire pit. I really, I don't understand. I don't understand what people are thinking, because, once again, this is free. It would just be, common sense but I'll get off my soapbox. So I do need some solar. Because I am now charging my battery. My fan. I was using the fan, hooking it straight to the starter battery, but I'm using it all day long. So I did move it over to my house battery, and it did. It finished charging it up, and it runs about 5 watts an hour. So it's not a big drain, but I do want to go ahead, and I prefer to keep my battery as close to topped off as possible. I do plan on using probably the crock pot. Like I said, I bought from Walmart. I bought some beans and some of the like a rotel. It's like chopped tomatoes with chilies and everything in it. I was going to mix it all up, and it's really good warm on tortilla. So I am going to be using the crock pot and all that. So I just, rather than drain the battery all the way down, I'd rather just go ahead and use the solar just to keep it, always on standby. And that's something a lesson learned. When I do look for a place to park, to boondock for, a week or two, I really have to start keeping solar in mind. As for deploying the solar, it's very, very, very simple. Like I said, I got that fold out. I do have to pull of the pole. As you remember, there's a recent video that with some new equipment, and I did get the WeBoost RV, and I do have a pole for that, and the pole is in the way, so I do have to open up the trunk, pull the pole out a little bit, and then I can easily pull out my solar. So it's not a big hassle. I'm going to deploy that later today, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to hurry up and get dressed, and I'm going to go out on a little hike. I'm not going to take that other section of the trail today. But I am going to go ahead, and I did see another one of the forest roads. I took one on a previous one. If you look at the previous video, I found like this beautiful stream and everything. What I'm going to do is I saw another one on the other side. I'm going to follow that and see where it leads us. And then I will come back here and deploy the solar. So I was thinking about how it does bother me how filthy that one campsite that that I just parked at for the solar. It's got, there's like bags that are like tied up in such a way that you don't know really what's inside. It has kind of like that, it could be waste. So the next time I'm at Walmart, I think I'm going to purchase some medical gloves, just so I can, clean up, or, I'll take one of my grocery bags, turn it inside out, or, whatever, put it on my hands, use them as gloves. But it's like, it's shocking. But that being said, I did look around. So there are several more vehicles at the campsite, but they're all cars. Now there is one car that clearly that the gentleman staying there, he's definitely, dwelling there. He's been there, since I've been there. So, but the other ones look like maybe they were just, resting overnight, because that's what, using like iOverlander and stuff like that, that even helps people who are traveling just to go from one place, because it's, why spend $100 on a hotel room when you can just, sleep for free if you're comfortable with that. I did scope out a couple of other ones that were unoccupied. There's one that I've never seen anybody use, but it's got good coverage, as in like it's shaded. So what I might do is that if there's one that I'm kind of like eyeballing, and I'm hoping they're going to be moving on, and if they do move on, I'll take that. And if not, later on this evening, if my spot isn't taken, my original, it's not really mine, but the one I prefer, if that one is open, I'll move back there and wait to see what else opens up. But I'm not going to stay there. It's just too filthy, and it really does. It bothers me every time I look. So, okay, now I'm going to go and enjoy some clean, green, brown nature and just enjoy it. And I am by no means a birder, though I am slowly taking up the hobby. I have, and you can download it on. I'm sure they have it for the Android, but I know they also, over on the Apple App Store. It's called Merlin, and it's actually through a university. Once you download the app. Then what you're able to do is you can actually turn on your microphone and it listens actively and it identifies the birds for you. It is amazing how accurate it is, because then what you can do is that once you think that that's your bird, then you can click on the bird itself, and then it usually has anywhere between 10 to 20 recordings of the different bird calls that particular bird makes. Then you can play it back and listen to it, and then you can go, yep, that's exactly what I heard. So that's one of the things that keeps me busy early morning in the camp when I'm really not doing anything yet, and it kind of keeps me off my phone, so I'm not watching too many YouTube videos. Thank you very much for watching the YouTube videos. That's a broad-shoulder hawk off in the distance. I don't know if you can see this, but as I've been walking down this road, of course there's, the tire tracks and everything, but what's so cool is that there's these humps. And I know for a fact you can see, I guess that's for the dirt bikers and stuff like that they got. Here's another one right here. There's really no, it might be to divert water, but I'm sure that the guys that come out here with the with the dirt bikes and everything, I'm sure they're jumping. So I thought this was really, really cool. But now the more I think of it, I think it's more for water diversion. But that is so cool. That is so cool. All right. So this is another reason why I always try to bring my trekking poles with me, even though I'm just walking down, supposed forest, road that is well taken care of. Just so you can see how this is all rutted out, and all that loose mud, it's all wet, and when you step on it, you lose traction right away. So, definitely I'm going to go up it very slow, 3 points of contact. I've already gone down it using the same technique. I definitely don't want to show you what happens if you don't keep your balance, but we'll get through this fine. Also a beautiful little stream right here. See the runoff. I think it's all flowing down towards the Tennessee River. Okay, still heading back towards camp. I'm back in that one clearing where the mountains are. So one thing I was thinking about, so the last time I was here, there weren't so many gnats or midges, whatever you want to call them. Today there was lots and lots. I do have a bug net for my head that would go over, the cap and everything. I keep deciding not to bring it. And I'm starting to realize it might be a good idea. So, but other than that, it's been enjoyable. Most of the time, almost all the time. You really can't see it, but it was all just dark canopy, you know. It was very, very enjoyable. I'm probably about 15 minutes to camp. When I get back, I'm gonna change over, and then I'm gonna go ahead and deploy the solar. So, or I might just deploy the solar for, I don't know. I'll decide. I'll probably get dressed first, change over, get out of these sweaty clothes. I only went a little over an hour out, so now it's gonna about a 2-hour walk altogether. So very nice. It's still fairly cool, humid, but still beautiful. All right, back at camp. So as you can see, I've got the solar set over in the other spot. Like I said, it was beautiful there. But yesterday when I put up the solar, when I actually had just some sun getting through the shades, through the leaves and everything, I was getting like 15 watts. Right now, I'm getting over 100 watts right now. It's a 200 watt panel. And like I said, I've got the extension that I bought that just gives me the versatility. Yep. And like I said, and the only thing I have to do is I have to just move that pipe out of the way, and I just pull that out. I am thinking of moving over to that campsite because it's a lot cleaner. Somebody was just there, and unfortunately they left maybe it fell out of their vehicle as they were driving off, a bunch of tissues. But I'm trying to evaluate that for solar, but I'm not really sure. So the hike was wonderful. It was about 7 miles. It's still early in the morning. I wanted to get out there before all the ATVs and the dirt bikes and everything. So it was very nice. So I'm gonna top off my battery, and then I am going to think about maybe having some kind of a breakfast, and then I will think about moving, because I don't think, if this site doesn't get used, what I'll do is I'll move over there and I'll come here in the morning, because I know exactly where to park now. Because it's gonna top off my battery in no time. All right. So I went ahead and I did move it over to the second site. And as you can see, I'm drawing in, it's a really good solar spot. Of course, the van gets hot inside, but I got with the new windshield visor, whatever you want to call that covering, it's keeping the back. And then I also have the blackout shades also up. So it's basically, if it's warm, it's only warm inside in the front cabin. The back cabin, I got the little fan going, and it's good. And this is a far cleaner site. So what I plan on doing is that I can charge my battery throughout the day or throughout the morning. And if it gets too warm, I can just move the van over here in this beautiful shaded spot, and just move the van from here to here. All right. But it's a lot cleaner. I picked up the tissues, and I'm not going to pick up the cigarette butts. But another rainy afternoon. Just finished up dinner. Didn't have much. On days like this, especially when there's rain and stuff, definitely to cook inside the van. It's the heat outside. It's not conducive. So you always have to have, at least in my opinion, you always have to have cold options. So I had some canned pinto beans wrapped in tortilla with a little bit of hot sauce. So it was very, very good. And now I'm just enjoying the rain. Oh, I did buy some tortilla chips. I did break into those. So I did also have some chips too. So they were very good. All right. So I'm going to sit and just enjoy listening to the rain and just sit back and relax. All right, finishing up the day. The rain, it stayed for a while, then it ended. It's been very, very nice here. I know I said at the beginning of the adventure I was probably going to stay here for 2 weeks. I don't know. Depending on the weather, and I'll keep checking the weather. Especially tomorrow, I'll get a better look into what's going to happen over the following week. It's still very delightful. After, it's there's one part of the day where it gets, that's when the high hits, but it goes away quickly. Not like in Florida and some of the other states I've been in where it gets hot and it just stays hot. It's very, very nice. It's already cooling down right now. But I still don't know. And what's interesting is, like I said, I want to go to South Dakota, but then I was looking at some of the maps with all the smoke that's coming from Canada. And the funny part is, when I was up in Ohio, I was thinking about going up into Michigan. Michigan, supposedly the air quality there is very poor and very hazy because of all the smoke from the fire. So, you know, God willing, everybody's doing safe. Thank you again for stopping by. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for sharing the video and subscribing if you can. So I do appreciate everything. And once again, go out and have your own great adventure.